Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are putting on a different kind of professional lens. We're heading into the Autobody workshop.
But not to fix a car.
No, not to fix a car.
Right.
We're here to analyze the blueprint of the people who do. We've taken a deep dive into this fascinating career guide from Kaplan, and we're focusing on the key interview questions for Autobody technicians.
And it's a perfect example of how, interview questions can reveal the core expectations of an entire industry.
Yeah.
We're not just looking at a Q&A here.
No.
We're really extracting the professional philosophy, what defines excellence in the modern auto body trade.
That's exactly the mission. We want to go beyond simple definitions and give you a shortcut to understanding the gold standard for this profession. We're going to cover everything from technical skill and workshop management to, the commitment to professional growth.
And it's all framed by those 6 core questions.
It is.
And, these questions, they really serve 2 purposes. They help the job seeker articulate their mastery. You go from saying, I fix cars, to demonstrating, I manage structural compliance.
That's a huge difference.
It is. And for employers, it helps them identify that crucial mix of expertise, experience, and cultural fit.
Okay, let's unpack this right away. Let's start with the absolute foundation, the technical skills, which the guide covers in questions 1 and 5.
Right.
So question 1 asks about a candidate's experience with different vehicles and repair techniques. When an employer asks this, they're not just checking if you own a wrench, are they?
Far from it. Not at all. They're looking for documented, measurable versatility. The ideal answer, according to the source, it has to show experience with, various makes and models.
Okay.
And they specifically call out both domestic and foreign vehicles.
Why is that distinction still so important?
Because it signals mastery over completely different engineering philosophies and material standards.
So it's not just Ford versus Toyota anymore. It's aluminum versus ultra-high-strength steel.
Exactly. Or, a composite panel versus traditional sheet metal. The job has really become a study in material science. If a candidate only knows how to work on, say, older domestic cars.
They're obsolete.
Functionally, yes. Especially when a modern European car with advanced components rolls in. The skill range has to go from, the simple stuff, dents, scratches, all the way up to the really complex tasks.
Like frame straightening.
Like frame straightening and structural repairs. The liability there is just... it's massive.
And that structural piece leads us perfectly into question 5, which is explaining a challenging repair job and the approach you took. This is where you prove you can problem solve under pressure.
This is the story that matters.
So what was the example they used in the source?
The example was a vehicle with significant frame damage from a severe collision. And the real complexity wasn't just the damage itself, it was the knock-on effects.
What do you mean?
It caused severe alignment issues, and it required replacing components with absolute precision. You're basically dealing with a patient whose entire skeleton is out of whack.
So how does the top-tier professional handle that kind of structural nightmare?
Well, the approach there outline mandates using highly specialized equipment. In this case, a frame straightening machine.
Okay.
But the machine is only half the battle. The real differentiator is the demand for precise measurements to get that vehicle back to its original specifications.
We're not talking about a tape measure here.
No, not at all. We're talking about tolerances measured in millimeters, often using laser calibration systems. This kind of precision is it's non-negotiable. It directly impacts occupant safety.
So you need to operate complex machinery, stick to that millimeter precision, but the source also stresses one other skill, a soft skill.
Yes, and this is critical. The whole story of the technical repair. It has to be paired with the fact that the technician kept up consistent, clear communication with the customer.
So you're not just managing the car.
You're managing the client. You have to prove you can handle the technical side and the human side, especially when insurance companies are involved. They're totally inseparable.
So that's the key takeaway then. You have to be versatile, incredibly precise with structural work, and a clear communicator.
It connects the garage floor to the front office. It proves you understand the compliance and customer-facing parts of your job.
All right, let's step outside the repair bay for a moment. Let's pivot from the technical skills to the operational side of things. How technicians manage time, workflow, and risk. This brings us to question 2. How do you prioritize and manage multiple jobs?
This is really a test of their business thinking. A lot of people might think, just grab the easiest job first.
Get a quick win.
Right. But the strategy they highlight is based on urgency and impact on the customer's needs. The jobs that get a client's only car back on the road or involve safety repairs. Those have to come first.
But doesn't that just turn the shop into a constant firefighting operation? I mean, if you're always chasing the most urgent job, how do you schedule those big complex repairs we were just talking about?
That's a great point, and that's where the methodology comes in. It requires a systematic approach. The professional doesn't just jump in.
Okay, so what do they do?
They start with diagnostic assessments for every job. They map out the full scope of work first.
So you understand what you're getting into.
Exactly. It minimizes surprises. You prioritize the flow of work, not just the individual task. And of course, clear communication with the team and the customer is what makes it all work. It's the invisible management tool.
That makes sense. And from a business perspective, poorly planned work leads to redos, which just kills your profit margin.
And your reputation.
Speaking of costs and liability, let's look at safety. Question 3. What safety procedures do you follow? This seems straightforward, but I imagine the stakes are much higher now.
Oh, absolutely. The source really breaks it down into what you could call 3 pillars of compliance.
Okay, what's pillar number 1?
Number 1, always wearing the right personal protective equipment, or PPE. But the real insight here is why they ask. It shows an ingrained habit of following procedures, which is vital for an employer's liability.
Right, compliance over comfort. What are the other 2?
2 is keeping the workspace clean and organized to prevent accidents. Slips, trips, And 3, and this is maybe the most critical one today, following all the guidelines for handling and disposing of hazardous materials.
That third one is enormous, isn't it?
It is.
You're dealing with heavy metals, paint fumes, solvents, and now you have damaged high-voltage batteries from EVs.
Exactly. Improper handling can lead to huge environmental fines and, of course, serious health risks. A technician is also a compliance manager for EPA and OSHA rules, and they have to commit to staying updated on any changes in those regulations.
Okay, let's transition into our third segment, which is really about a commitment to excellence and future-proofing your career. This gets into quality assurance and continuous learning.
Right. This is what separates someone with a job from someone with a career. It shows they aren't just sitting on a skill plateau. They understand the industry is always moving.
So question 4 asks how technicians stay current. Why is this so much more important now than it was, say, 20 years ago?
Because vehicles are essentially rolling computers now. After a collision, modern cars need these sophisticated sensor calibrations. It's called the 8As, Advanced Driver Assistance Systems.
I've heard of that.
And these calibrations are often needed even after something as simple as taking off a bumper. If you repair a high-tech car with old methods and ignore that, you've just compromised the vehicle's entire safety system.
And it opened the shop to a massive lawsuit.
A massive one. So the methods for staying current have to be formal. It's not just browsing magazines anymore.
What does that look like in practice?
It's a multi-pronged approach. Attending workshops, manufacturer-specific training, they call them OEM certifications, and online courses. Reading publications is still there, but the real emphasis is on formal education to handle things like new welding protocols or digital diagnostics.
So the technician really has to make a significant personal investment in their own education just to keep up.
They absolutely do. And that commitment shows their value to an employer because shops need certified techs to handle complex insurance work.
Now for the final core question, number 6. How do you ensure high-quality workmanship? This is really the quality control standard.
This is the checklist that separates the acceptable from the exemplary. It starts with the mindset, attention to detail, a commitment to excellence. But the actual process steps are technical and they have to be documented.
Can you walk us through those steps?
First and foremost is meticulously following manufacturer guidelines. This isn't just about using the right wrench. It's using specific mandated repair procedures that insurance carriers demand.
Okay, what's next?
Second, using high-quality materials and tools. It's non-negotiable. Using cheap parts compromises the repair and the warranty.
And what about after the work is done, the verification process?
Right, so once the repair is complete, they conduct thorough, documented inspections. And the source specifically mentions test drives.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's to ensure not just the aesthetics look good, but that the car performs correctly, and that all those ADS systems are functioning as they should. You can't just look at a sensor and assume it's working.
You have to actually test it on the road.
You do. And that, plus actively seeking customer feedback, shows a real dedication to continuous improvement. Quality control now is as much a documentation process as it is a hands-on repair.
So let's bring this all together. Let's look at the broader career ecosystem. For someone who masters all these skills, what's next? What doors open up?
Well, that mastery, especially in things like precision and estimation, naturally leads to several specialized career paths.
Yeah, the guide lists some clear transition roles. Like, if you're great at damage assessment, you could move into the office as an auto body estimator.
Or if you specialize in the finish, you can become an auto body detailer. Or move into the very lucrative world of customization as an auto body customizer.
And you can also specialize on the technical side, right? An expert in structural work could become an auto body repairer focused just on frames.
Or focus just on component safety as an auto bumper mechanic. All these paths start with that deep foundation we've been talking about.
And this whole framework is supported by resources from the Kaplan Career Center. What kind of tools do they offer to help people navigate this?
They really emphasize digital support. There's an interview coach tool which helps you articulate all this mastery we've been discussing. And there's also an offer analyzer.
What does that do?
It helps you compare a job offer against verified market pay rates so you know what you're worth.
And just so we're clear, where does that salary data come from?
It's compiled by WebScribble. They combine statistics from the U.S. Department of Labor with their own internet search of thousands of current job postings. So it gives you a pretty robust, real-time view of compensation.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? The blueprint for the ideal auto body technician is this rigorous blend of deep technical skill, sharp organizational efficiency, strict safety adherence, and a systematic commitment to quality and lifelong learning. It's a highly demanding trade.
It is. And it raises a really important final question for the future, especially with all this emphasis on precise measurements, manufacturer guidelines, and an advanced technology.
What stands out to you? Where is this all heading?
Well, if a car's safety and functionality are increasingly dependent on sophisticated digital calibration and compliance checks, will the technician's traditional tool chest be completely redefined?
You mean software over wrenches?
To some extent, yeah. Will specialized software licenses and advanced diagnostic systems become just as crucial, and maybe even more expensive, than the physical frame straightening machine? The modern auto body technician, they're quickly becoming an expert systems calibrator who just happens to also use a wrench.